Hello, everyone, and you're welcome to another beautiful edition of the Other Side of the Bridge football channel. Now, this is the place to be for all football-related news. Yeah, we are more biased on Chelsea, but I think we're going to mix it up a little bit. Like today, we'll be talking about the EPL, Football Premier League matches that will be coming back on our TV screens. Previewing the matches for today. We have a lot of matches coming up, and for the first match we're going to be previewing, we're going to be looking at Southampton, who will be taking on Manchester United, and that match will be about 12:30 p.m. local time here in Nigeria. So do endeavor to stay tuned. Southampton form isn't really good. They've lost their 3 matches so far, coming back from the championship, taking on Manchester United, who are really not faring as good as they would probably want. They have just 1 win and 2 losses so far in the Premier League season. They lost to Liverpool. They also lost to Brighton, and most notably, they won their first match against Fulham. In Manchester United news, there's still some injury worries. The likes of Euro, the likes of Mason Mount, the likes of Luke Shaw are still injured. Even Rasmus Hojlund is still out. Mason Mount, I really don't know what's up with Mount. He seems to be injured a lot this season. In fact, his last season at Chelsea was riddled by injuries. And Manchester United, took that load off us, and he doesn't seem to have recovered from his injury worries. He's out again. So Manchester United, well, they have some shining light. Ugarte seems to be ready, for his first match for Manchester United. So we'll be looking out, for Ugarte in midfield, partnering the young Kobe Mainoo. Like Sessi is going to be, sticking to his number 9 position while Haaland is out. We've seen some flashes of brilliance from Sexy. So hopefully, the young kid, proves his worth. And yeah, for my prediction, I think Manchester United is just going to, narrow this one out, maybe probably with a 1-0 victory. Southampton, I really don't see where the goals are going to be coming from this season. In our second match, we'll be previewing Liverpool against Nottingham Forest. Now, enough said, man. Liverpool is on fire this season. 3 wins out of 3. Have a new coach, Slot. I mean, this guy slotted right into that coaching role at Liverpool. The team is flowing. I mean, he didn't really change much for what Klopp was doing. Just, did a little bit of tweaks here and there. And you can see, the team is basically the same, except from some few additions, the likes of Chiesa, who came in from Juventus, 1 or 2 other changes here and there. The team is relatively the same, and Salah has had a new lease of life. There are rumors about this being his last season, but I mean, Salah has been on fire this season. That front line of Jota, Salah, Luiz, I mean, it's crazy, and I really, really think Liverpool is going to give Man City a run for their money. Now, don't forget, Man City is going to have their hands full with this whole FFP situation. And say what you like, I think it's really, really going to be a distraction. So I think, Liverpool is going to run riot on this one against Nottingham Forest. And I'm predicting a 3-0 win for Liverpool. Now, the next match we're going to be previewing is Manchester City versus Brentford. Now, I'll start with Brentford. The loss of Ivan Toney is going to leave a very deep hole. And they didn't really have enough time to, get a replacement striker. So they are stuck with just Brian Mbeumo. I think that's his name, yeah. He's not really a striker, but I think he comes up with the goals quite a lot for Brentford. I think that's going to be the saving grace this season. Ivan Toney left, to Al Hilal, and was it Al Hilal or Al Ali, one of the clubs, Saudi Arabia, left for big money, and yeah, left Brentford in a quite deep hole. And Thomas Frank and his boys have a lot to do if they're going to, weather the storm against this Manchester City team. Speaking of Manchester City, they've been running riot already this season, all thanks to that man, Erling Haaland. I mean, this guy is a machine. He's a goal-scoring machine. He's been great already this season, 3 hat-tricks already. I mean, this kid is crazy. It's going to be hard to stop Brentford to stop Man City. So, yeah, Rodri looks like he's going to be back in that team. He hasn't played a match yet, and already they're really this good. The likes of Phil Foden hasn't yet had a kick of the ball also. So these guys are going to be coming back in, and man, if they were good before, I mean, right now with those 2 back, it's going to be incredible. So I'm predicting a 3-0 win for Manchester City, but yeah, there's some rumors about Erling Haaland having lost a very, very close friend of his, may not be available for this match. Now, this may, turn the tide a bit towards Brentford if Manchester City rather don't have Erling Haaland playing this match. I mean, they might just, come out of that match with a draw. So I'm predicting if Haaland doesn't play, probably a 1-1 draw. But if Haaland is on the pitch, I'm predicting a 3-1 win for Manchester City. Fulham is going to be taking on West Ham also at 3 p.m. West Ham just have a win and I think about 2 losses, while Fulham have a win, a draw, and a loss. The Fulham team, we had the likes of Adama Traore added to that squad. I mean, this guy has been, lighting up the Premiership in terms of his speed, his lightning fast and skills. Left Wolves, went to Barcelona, really didn't cut it out there, and he's back in the Premiership with Fulham. I think he's a quality player, and if you look at that Fulham team, I mean, they've slowly built, some, very, very good team. They have the likes of Emil Smith, who came in from Arsenal, joining that team. And look, this guy's is a team to look out for. So Fulham, with 1 win, 1 draw, and a loss, they're really going to hold their own against West Ham. And speaking of West Ham, just the 1 win, they've lost 2 of their matches under their new coach, Julian Lopetegui. I mean, Lopetegui, a quality coach, we all know him from his time in, was this Sevilla now, in Spain, and also when he briefly had the coaching role at Real Madrid. So he's a quality coach, no doubt, and he's on the reins of West Ham. Do I think he has enough, to knock Fulham out of their perch? I think it's going to be kind of equal against the 2, so I'm predicting a 2-2 draw, for this match. In our next match, we'll have Crystal Palace against Leicester City, also at 3 p.m. Crystal Palace, well, they really did kind of well in the second half against Chelsea in the last match. I mean, Eberechi is scoring a wonder goal. Well, beautiful goal, maybe not a wonder goal. But they lost the likes of Michael Olise to Bayern Munich. But they still have that quality Olise brings to the table. They really don't have that recognized striker. I mean, they sold the likes of Ayew, sold him to Leicester City. So Ayew is going to be playing against his former club, Crystal Palace, and it's going to be quite an exciting match for me, seeing how the likes of Ayew turns up, against his old side. So it's maybe not going to be as exciting a match as we would expect. Leicester having Jamie Vardy, with Jamie Vardy, look, anything can happen, So, yeah, I predict a draw for this match also. Probably a 2-2 draw against this, between these 2 teams. In the next match we'll be previewing. Brighton will be taking on Ipswich. I think also at 3 p.m. This is going to be one match I really, really don't want to miss out on, and I'll implore you to also look out for this match. It's going to be 2, very attacking-minded coaches. Brighton with their new 31-year-old coach, Fabian Huzela, if I pronounced it correctly. I mean, having a coach that is 31, I mean, quite young, but I mean, this kid or this guy, I can't call him a kid, is really, really, doing great things. I mean, Brighton has 2 wins and just a draw, and they sit third on the Premiership table. I mean, it's been quite good for Brighton. They defeated Manchester United, they drew against Arsenal, and I think they won their first match against Everton. So, Brighton seems to be going, doing really, really well. They lost the Zerbi, or rather, they sacked the Zerbi last season. I mean, who would have thought sacking a coach like the Zerbi and Brighton would still be, in and about that Champions League positions. That shows how good these guys are, and they've kept the core of their team together. Yes, they lost the likes of Caicedo to Chelsea, they lost the likes of McAllister to Liverpool, but hey, they're still going and still going on strong. And yeah, it's going to be another exciting match, but hands down, I think Brighton is going to be taking this one. Ipswich with Kieran McKenna, I mean, he was one of the coaches that were rumored to be taking over at Brighton, also at Chelsea and Manchester United. So he was quite sought after, but he decided to stick with Ipswich after bringing them, taking them from the Championship back to the Premiership. And Ipswich hasn't been in the Premiership for a very, very long time. And yeah, things may not be going as well as, probably they would have thought, but it's quite a welcome addition. He likes to play attacking football. I think their bane really is they chose to stock with a lot of the players that they came up with from the Championship. But personally, I don't think those players will be good enough, for them to stick around. Probably they would have gotten some more experienced players, especially an experienced striker, But hey, I really think this guy's, a very good team and a team to look out for. But Brighton is going to be just too good, for Ipswich tomorrow, or rather today. So, yeah, it's going to be a win for Brighton for me, a 3-0 win for Brighton. Now, by 5:50 p.m., 5:30 p.m. rather, Aston Villa is going to be taking on Everton. Look, Villa, I think these guys, they did excellently well last season, got that Champions League spot. So Villa already, they've had 2 wins and 1 loss. They lost to Arsenal. In that match, they should have won because Ole Watkins missed some glit-edge chances. But they also won at Leicester City, probably I think at Everton, I'm not quite sure. But with 2 wins and 1, loss, Aston Villa sits at 7th position with 6 points. And Unai Emery, he's been doing some very, very good things. He's taking on the Rams or taking on the affairs of Aston Villa. And I think Villa are just going to be too good for Everton. Everton already 3 games, 3 losses in the EPL. Sean Dyche, I mean, it's going to be another struggle this season. They're going to be battling for relegation again. I don't really know what's up with Everton. With the quality of players they have, I mean, they've just been going downhill, battling relegation each and every season. I really think Everton have the quality, to stay up, but hey, probably Sean Dyche really isn't the kind of coach that these players need. Should have gotten a more progressive coach. But hey, he pulled out a rabbit out of the hat, 2 seasons ago when he saved them from relegation. So, let's see, but personally, I think Aston Villa is going to go away with the win. Probably a 3-1 win for Aston Villa. I mean, they're just going to be too good. John Duran, Ole Watkins. I mean, yeah, they're just going to blow Everton away in this match. Now, the last match we're going to be looking at is Chelsea against Bournemouth. And this match is going to be a late night match by 8 p.m. Chelsea, 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 loss, and they sit 12th on the table with just 4 points. They won their match against Wolves 6-2. They lost the first match against Manchester City, and they also drew their last match against Crystal Palace 1-1. Chelsea is going to be playing away from home. Squad news, we have a lot of injury already. I mean, Rhys James is already out. Malo Gusto followed him from the last match. He had an injury. So the right back is going to be vacant again. So that means Axel Disasi is going to step into that right back role. Aside those two, I think Cole Palmer pulled out of the England UEFA Nations League matches that took place earlier in the week. He pulled out, I think, a thigh injury, but he was back in training for Chelsea in the Chelsea training section around Thursday. So, it's left to see if he will start the match or come off the bench or not play at all. So that's the injury news we have from Chelsea. Aside that, every other player is raring to go. So we're looking at the usual suspects. Probably maybe Modric sits this one out, and hopefully we get a debut for Jadon Sancho. He's here to kick a ball for Chelsea, so probably his opportunity, to play on the left, kicking out the likes of Modric and Pedro Neto. Personally, I think Pedro Neto should be deputizing for Madueke. Madueke had another good match, against in the match against Finland, I think, for England, where he had his debut. Chelsea Bournemouth, it's never an easy match, but I think Chelsea should be running away with this one. Probably a 2-0, victory to Chelsea. There's been a lot of issues in the Chelsea team, Chelsea squad, Chelsea news, even among the management. I really, really hope this doesn't, come out in our play or affect our play negatively. Bournemouth, the two draws was against Newcastle and Nottingham Forest, and I think they won their match against Everton. So a 3-1 victory for Chelsea, my prediction, and I really hope we get to see the best of this Chelsea team even as they continue to gel and to blend. The remaining two fixtures will be happening on Sunday, where we'll see a North London derby, Arsenal playing against Tottenham Hotspur. The other match we'll see Wolves taking on Newcastle. I'll bring those two matches, or I'll be previewing those two matches later on tomorrow after the results come in, while I'm reviewing the results of these matches that I just talked about. So it's going to be a packed Saturday. Do stay tuned. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the football. As time goes by, we'll stretch out, to other leagues, start talking about the Serie A, the La Liga, and probably the Bundesliga. For now, stick to talking EPL, and also, be a little bit biased on the Chelsea side. So I look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow. Please do like, subscribe the channel to help us grow. And I wish you all the best. I wish your team all the best, but most importantly, I really hope results go the way of Chelsea Football Club. So stay tuned. See you guys once again. Thank you very much.